Greetings, everybody. This is Harmony speaking. It's January 3rd, 2019. Happy New Year. With with an event update. Basically, what happened is, I don't know, maybe around 10 p.m. Pacific time last night on January 2nd, 2019. Well, let me first say that the bad guys are losing, folks. And also, let me back up again. When I talk about these battles, the real battles are happening. I mean, you're all aware of the physical universe and jets dropping bombs on people and stuff like that. That's I don't report on that stuff. Okay, I'm not talking about those wars and battles. The real battle, the ones that really make a difference and they're really important, are the ones that happen on the higher dimensions, the higher dimensional planes. Okay, so that's what I'm referring to. So basically, the folk, they're losing. I'll include those, people want to say the Illuminati, the deep state, all that stuff, because they're connected to these higher dimensional evil beings. And they work together, and they're in cahoots. So it does go hand in hand. The higher dimensions does affect the physical as well. So basically what's happening is they're losing personnel, they're losing folks, they're losing weapons, they're losing technology, they're losing their toys, and they're getting their butts kicked, folks. And we've been cleaning up house very well. Very, very well. Now, the thing is, because they're losing, and they don't have the personnel or the toys anymore, they are now outsourcing. This is not the only universe in existence. There is a multiverse, and they do have the knowledge and the ability and the technology to create, I don't know, you want to call it a portal, a wormhole, Stargate, I don't know, whatever you want to picture it. It doesn't matter to me. They have the ability to communicate with other beings and other universes and to pull them in here and have them work for them and to continue fighting the battle on their behalf. And on deep states, the black government, all that stuff, Illuminati, to continue working on their behalf. Because these folks don't want to give up. It's a war, and they are going to fight to the bitter end. They're not going to quit until they're dead. They will never surrender, ever. They will never give up, and they will fight to the death. The only way to win is to kill all of them. They all have to be killed in order for us to win. They will never give up. Basically, we picked up on another species that they brought in here. Most of you folks are familiar with the shadow beings, the shadow people. There's probably the most famous one is the Hat Man. It's a pretty famous. You can just Google Hat Man probably and find the stories on him. He's probably the most famous shadow person. So these shadow beings are kind of well known. But what folks don't know, these shadow beings also exist in another universe. And to us, they're 10 times more nasty than the shadow people in this universe. So they outsourced and created a way for them to come into our universe, and they're here, or they were here. And they, it was not a good situation. So a mission was launched to exterminate the beings in this reality. And then we're all scratching our heads going, where did they come from? So then we found out where they're coming from. They actually had created, believe it or not, I'm being told, it's hard to believe, without God's knowledge, they managed to sneak and create like a universe of void. And they were used, and there's these two other species that I'll get to that were using this void to create shadow beings, and they were actually creating shadow beings in this other universe. Now, I know some of you say only God can create, but the thing you have to understand, in this universe, the way the physics are in this universe, you can say that only God can create. You change the physics, and everyone can create. So it all has to do with the makeup of the universe, how it's structured, the different powers, energies, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very possible in another universe you can create. So they're literally creating shadow beings, and these guys were the most nasty shadow beings I've ever seen. They're just, I thought shadow people were bad. These guys were just off the hook bad. They were so nasty. So anyway, a mission was launched to shut down that universe that was created. It was not authorized. It was created as an unauthorized creation. So that got shut down and collapsed, and it's gone now. And then we're like, well, okay, well, who did this? So then we found out that there were the two species. One of them we've dealt with before. We call them, we just nickname them the Covenants. They're an eighth-dimensional being, and if you were to see one in person, well, actually, if you see it as a human being, like on the wall or something, because they can come through as kind of like an image, they're usually about, they'll be like this tall, you know, they're crunched up, and you don't really get a good image of them. They're actually 8 to 10 feet tall. They primarily look like ants, and then they have like a shell to them that looks like a beetle. So they look like a cross. This is a bad description. That's the best I can do. They look like a cross between an ant and a beetle, and therefore they look like covered ants. So we call them covenants, and that's what we call them. Their bases here on Earth were destroyed, and then but there were millions of them out on missions, messing with people, causing havoc and chaos. And so then the call went out to all of them. We said, hey, if you're willing to leave now, you can go back to your home world, run, and you get a free pass. I personally didn't like that decision, but I didn't get to vote on that one. So anyway, they left, and with the agreement, they must go back to their home world and stay there and stop screwing with other worlds and other universes. But what had happened is there's also, oh, by the way, the Covenants are actually the folks that they are above the reptilians and the Greys and the praying mantis and, you know, all those folks, and, you know, the Covenants rule those beings, and then those beings rule what you call deep state, the black government, the Illuminati, and they rule them. So that's how the hierarchy goes. So, you know, it's like, you know, it's humans, and then it's hybrids. And then, you know, you got your deep state and all that stuff, and then you got your Greys and your praying mantis and your alien, your reptilians. A lot of them, I'm not gonna get into praying mantis. A lot of them are good, so I shouldn't probably throw them in the boat. I should probably leave them out. But they take orders from the Covenants. But then there's a species above the Covenants that rules them, and that's as high as the hierarchy goes that I am personally aware of. If it goes any higher than that, I apologize. I'm not aware of it. Okay, and I'm leaving out demons and spiritual beings, and, you know, the demons, that's a whole other story. I don't want to get into that. I'm talking about physical beings, because you know, even though a reptilian, you know, is a six-dimensional being, some of them are 8 probably, they do take physical form. So to me, that's a physical being. A demon doesn't really have a body. They're not spiritual. Okay, I'm babbling now. So anyway, so it turned out that these Covenants, along with their overlords, their rulers, and I guess this is going to be a really bad analogy, but it's the best I can do. In Star Wars, you know, you have the Sith, if I'm saying that right. They are equivalent to like the Sith, and they are the overlords, lords, and rulers of all the evil kingdoms, and, you know, all the evil stuff in our universe, and probably other universes. I don't know. That's a good one, but I know about this one. So anyway, I'll just call the Sith and the Covenants. We're in. Oh, there's a third species I call TV Land. I gotta get to them too. But it's primarily, you know, the blame fell on the Sith and the Covenants as the ones that had created this void universe, and were creating shadow people and transporting them into our reality, into this to Earth, to mess with folks. So the way it usually happens is benevolent beings do not just go around willy-nilly killing people. They need approval. There's high councils. If that doesn't work, the high council say, yeah, we approve, but you got to go to a higher council. A higher council. We don't approve. And, you know, it's kind of like a court system. You get up the food chain, you can end up with the 24 elders. And that's pretty much it. And then there's God, as far as I know. And but this time, you know, we're getting together like, hey, you know, should we go to the high council? And then all of a sudden God pops up and goes, no. Let me handle this one. I am personally going to give the okay to exterminate both of those entire races, because I have given, meaning God, has given them so many opportunities, so many chances, And you know, and just recently they had a free pass to run, and all they had to do, they have plenty of resources, folks. They can live happy lives in their own world. It's just that's not their nature. Their nature is to go around and screw with people. That's what they do, and create slave races and, you know, all kinds of nasty stuff. And God just like had it. Okay, now. You know, I know about the Old Testament and all that stuff, and I'm not going to get into that, but basically God doesn't kill. He's a really cool, mellow guy. He's compassionate, loving, gives people chances and chances. However, because there are beings that don't have the authority to kill, God has created beings who do have the authority to kill, and when these circumstances, these beings are called forth, and they were called forth, and a major mission was launched, and the entire home world of the covenants were taken out, and then they went around to their outposts and exterminated them in their outposts. You know, odds are some of them got away, but essentially that entire race has been extinguished. They're extinct. And then the same group of folks then went to the what I'll just call the Sith. So they went to their home world, took them out, and then hunted down all their bases and took them out. Went around the galaxy, as you say, this universe, and completely took them out because God had enough. You know, enough is enough is enough. So that all took place last night. That was a major event. We are still cleaning up this place. Basically, God has put out, you know, the mandate that He doesn't want to have the event until this place is cleaned up. He doesn't want to have the event tomorrow because this place is just too much of a freaking mess. It's a mess here, folks. It's a mess. So we're working very hard, the benevolent beings in the universe and everybody, and even, you know, you can say aliens, Pleiadians, Arcturians, you know, go down the list, yada yada. You know, everyone is working together to clean up this reality, so eventually we can have this event. Going back to the event, Dolores Cannon, she died in, I believe, 2014. Before she died, and by the way, I'm a QHHC Quantum Healing Hypnosis Level 2 practitioner, so if you'd like to book a session, that has to be in person, but I also have a soul harmonics technique that can be done remotely. Go down to the description, click on my website, www.soulharmonics.net. So anyway, now I'm going to forget what I was saying. So basically, this event thing is an ongoing thing, and in my opinion, oh yeah, so Dolores Cannon predicted before she died that the event, as people say, the grand finale, the event, you know, the grand finale, the big event. She you know, from all her clients and all the extensive work she did, and I don't know how many clients she's had. She had a 5-year waiting list when she died, okay? And she predicted the event through her clients that it would happen in 2019. So I know a lot of folks are upset that a lot of the predictions aren't coming true, but if you listen to, you know, our you know, the QHHC master, the lady who invented the technique, she said 2019, so we're still on schedule for her prediction. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't go into predictions. You're not going to pin me down on a prediction. You know, I might guess every now and then, but you know. So anyway, we're still on track for this event, folks. So don't give up hope. We're working hard, very hard, and in fact, in my opinion, the event actually started 2,000 years ago when God said, "This place is a mess. I had enough," and He sent Jesus Christ down here. Jesus Christ had never had a past life. He had never incarnated anywhere in the universe. He had never been a physical being. He came directly. Jesus Christ came directly from Source, true Source, God Creator, and then incarnated into a physical body. Christians say He's the only begotten Son of Jesus Christ. So pretty much everybody, you know, even the New Age, the spiritual people, whatever you want to call it, the Christians, everybody agrees that Jesus Christ came directly from God and came here, okay? So, in my opinion, this is my opinion, my personal opinion, the event began 2,000 years ago, and that's when my higher self also began working on the event, and I know others, and it, you know, that from the information I'm getting, you know, we started you know, God put out the mandate, we've had enough, we need to clean up this reality, and that happened 2,000 years ago. So we have been working on the event for 2,000 years. This is a very long project, and so you may say, why? It's simply because you don't understand reality. Reality is nothing what you think it is, trust me. It's nothing what you think it is. You folks just don't understand how things work. In general, some of you do. I don't want to be like all-inclusive, okay? But in general, most folks don't understand reality. They have no clue. They don't know how it works. And things take longer than we would like them to. Even longer for the benevolent beings. They're all pretty tired of this. I mean, 2,000 years to work on one project, Project Earth, and having the event happen, that's a long time. It's a long time. Long time, especially when time is different for those folks. So 2,000 years to you is I don't want to begin to calculate it, you know, like probably a million years to them. Okay, it's been a very long struggle, long battle. A lot of work's been going on. So hang in there, folks. Be patient. You know, no man knows the day, nor the time, nor the hour. Not even Jesus Christ knows when the event's going to happen. It will happen when it's supposed to happen and when we're ready for it to happen. All right? So, you know, as I always say, you know, as the sun sets and the sun rises, come to that quiet, peaceful place. Just simply come to that quiet, peaceful place and just have a void of nothingness. And in that nothingness, fill it up with pure, true source God, creator energy. Feel his energy flowing through the top of your head, all through your body, out through your feet, to the dirt beneath your feet, and begin to emanate, as the Bible says, shine like a pillar of light unto the world, and spread love, joy, peace, happiness. Spread that love everywhere, folks. When each and every one of you shines like a pillar of light, shining pure, true source, God, creator, love everywhere, it does change reality, and it helps the folks in the higher dimensions working to help us. So, you know, having a positive attitude, you know, being kind to others, playing it forward, if you will, you know, all these positive things you do in your lives, it really does affect this reality more than you could ever even imagine. Oh my God, more than you can imagine. So each and every one of you are doing your part as you go through reality, spreading love. Love conquers all. Till next time, everybody. Hope you're all doing well out there. God bless, peace, and be well.